Okay, so as we discussed yesterday, today's topic is going to be API and live data. Okay, so until now, whatever we did was just the data that was fetched within React. We did not use any outside, so everything was inside our app, and it wasn't it was either hard coded or dynamically rendered. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to get our data from outside. Okay. So, in real world scenario, real apps don't store everything inside them. Okay. They get live data from servers, and they get this using APIs. Okay. This helps us show real time information like users or new products or say some food blog, something like that. Okay. So let us understand the key concepts behind APIs and live data. Okay. So API is a way for applications to talk to each other. Okay. Say one app asks for data and another app sends it back. Okay. React, what it does is it will fetch the data for us using the URL, and then it will display the data to us. Okay. So it is more like, say, for example, we go to a restaurant, right? So we will tell the waiter, so we say we are the React app, okay? And we tell the waiter to ask the chef to get us something, ask the cook to get us something. Say, for example, let's say pizza or pasta or gobi manchuri, for example. And they go back to the server goes back to the chef or the cook and tells this person wants this, can you please do it, and then they bring it back to us. So APIs are like servers in a restaurant. They take the request from us, go back, fetch it for us, and then come back to us. Okay. So next topic is fetching data. Okay. How does React fetch data? So React uses something called fetch function. It is an inbuilt function to request data. Okay. The thing is, fetch, when it does fetch, it does not give data instantaneously. It does not respond immediately. It works in the background, and when the page opens, the data asks, the app asks for the data. Okay. So how do we handle this? So sometimes it might take 30 seconds, sometimes it might take 1.5 minutes. How do we handle this? So what we do is we use async and await, that we will be seeing in our next assignment. Okay. So next concept is handling loading and error states. Okay. As I told you previously, the data is not instantaneously available. So it's not like you press enter and it comes out immediately. It will take some time because the data is stored somewhere else. So our React app will be like, it will go to the URL and take the data and come back. It will take some time, and data will be very huge. For example, in weather app, it might be like multiple lines of code. Okay. So what happens is it will take some time, right? The During that time our screen will shouldn't look empty, correct? So if it is just matter of milliseconds, like 3 to 4 milliseconds, what happens is we don't realize. For users, if there is 1 or 2 seconds delay, then the user realizes. Okay. If it is very negligible, then the user doesn't realize, and we don't have to put in any extra loading. I mean, we don't have to handle the loading. Okay. But when it is more like it takes a minute or two, if the data is very huge, it might take a minute or two. So we cannot leave the screen empty. For that, we have to display a loading message. Okay. So something like, please wait, data is being fetched, or loading, like a spinner, normally when we say here, so let's say google.com. Okay, see here, it is loading, right? That loading icon, or it is also called spinner, we normally display it in our main page. Okay, so that's how we handle loading, data loading. Okay, now error. Okay, how do we handle error? See, normally React handles all the errors that can be handled. Okay, but if when it is live data, there might be error with the URL. There might be error with internet network connectivity issues. Sometimes the server might be down. If all these things happen, then the app should always show an error message, right? This helps the user to understand what exactly the problem is and troubleshoot. So we have different error codes for each of the scenario. If the internet is not working, it will say network down or network unable to connect to the internet. If the server is down, it will send another code, and then it will be like server not found. So on and so forth. Okay, so for example, there are so many instances wherein we open a URL, it might be outdated. Okay, so we might have an URL and it might be outdated, so we display something called error 404. It means page not found. Okay, so these are some of the error handling techniques. Okay, there might be n number of errors, but right now we will just concentrate on generalized errors. Okay, coming to the next point, it is rendering lists dynamically. Okay, so whenever the app requests data from the server, it is usually sent in arrays. Okay, arrays or lists. Okay, React uses an inbuilt function called map to display them. Okay, we can also use for loop. Okay, it doesn't matter. For loop is okay. Map is a simplified and efficient version of for loop, as you already know. So when we handle it using maps, each of the item becomes a row or a list of elements. Okay, this makes the UI easier to handle. Okay, this makes the data to be handled easily, manipulated easily. Okay, when I say manipulation, it is just uh, considering how to display it, considering what needs to be exchanged, what needs to be done. Okay, so for example, we get say hundreds of fields, we just need one or two fields in that. So when we pick one or two fields and display only that, this is called, sorry, this is called data manipulation. It doesn't mean I'm doing something. Okay, there might be also other things that I can do. So if the user sends ABCD, I don't want to display ABCD. So I can say if ABCD is sent, I can say replace it with XYZ. So that is called data manipulation. Okay. Any questions until now? No? Okay. Let's continue. Bhupati, did you have any questions? Just hands up or anything is fine. Just let me know if you have any questions. Okay. So next, in core topics, we finished how to use fetch. We saw how mapping, how we map API responses to UI. So that is using map function. And then next important thing is key props and lists. Okay. So every time a React gets a row, it should have a unique key. Okay, it is like an index. Okay, so what happens is every list item should have a key. Okay, this helps React identify items. Okay, so for example, if we do not provide any key, the React will get confused. It might be ABCD for multiple people. So for example, let's say there are two students with the same name and there is no key. Okay, say we have two people named Chandrasekhar, for example. Okay, so if we have two people named Chandrasekhar, the React might think, oh my god, there are two people, but there are so many different details that varies. But how do I differentiate between these two? So that's when the key comes into picture. So normally in a larger scale, whenever there is uh, too many people, we also provide them with a unique ID. So, for example, Aadhaar has a unique number for each and every one of us. Even though we will have same name, same blood group, other things, this Aadhaar number is how we differentiate. This is the key. This is the key concept in React list. Okay. Next, we will come to performance considerations. Okay. So, as I told you, keys are very important in React. Okay. If we miss the key part in the list, this might confuse React and it might re-render this particular item again and again. So there might be, say, if we have four rows and we do not give a key, the React might think, no, no, this is not four rows, this is eight rows, and it might print the four rows again and again. Okay, it will go into an infinite loop. There's a possibility of that. And then that's why in order to not do that, we add keys. Okay, and too many API calls can also slow down the app, the response time, because every time there is an API call, we will have we'll wait, we will fetch the data, and then we will manipulate the data and show it to the user. Correct. But if there are too many API calls, then it might slow down. Say it will not function as per required. Okay. So in order to prevent this, we can say API needs to be called only in certain situations. We can provide certain conditions under which the API needs to get called. Normally, we do this using use effect function. Okay, this can help reduce the dependency, the app calls. Okay, so in short, good handling makes apps smoother and faster and more efficient than our normal handling. Okay, if we do not handle it, there might be number of issues. Okay, so any doubts regarding any of these topics we talked about? No? Okay, then we will get on with our project. Okay, what project is that? We will be creating countries app using API. Okay, so I have my API here. Now, just a moment. So let's see what we will be doing here. Okay, pretty print. Okay, so that we can see what exactly it is. Okay, so here we are taking the fields called name and flags. Okay, so what we are going to do in this project is we are going to print the name of the country and display its flag. Okay, so we have PNG. PNG is for image. SVG is for logos. So for example, if you don't need images but you need logos, we make use of this SVG. Okay, but let us start now. Okay, so oh, we need to open our git me, I mean read me, sorry. Here, countries, and we will go to our readme. Okay, so as usual we will be using React JS for our UI, HTML, CSS, So first step is to verify if we have our npm installed. Oh, my bad. Okay. We will open our file first. Open folder, desktop, React.js course, and I'm going to name this assignment 3. Okay, assignment 3, and select the folder. So here we go to the terminal and see if we have npm installed. Npm minus v. So as you can see, we already have our npm installed. So we can skip our step 2. Okay. Then we do the npx create. Npx create React app followed by the name. So I will be like countries app. Okay. So here we have countries app and then it's installing all the dependencies. Now we will go back to our readme page and see. Okay. So next we need to change the directory to our app name and then start the development server. Okay. Then we do the delete the logo and the lines of code between the return in app.js and we put in this code. Okay. Until now, everything is the bare minimum we do. Okay. Only thing that is going to change is the h1, the what is displayed within h1 tags. Everything else is the same. Okay. Now we will be grouping, as you already know, we will be grouping our JSX files under pages, and we will have a variable called API URL. Okay, and give it our this one. Okay, so we will later also see how we handle error. Okay, we will be covering all the topics that we discussed previously. Okay, so I will show it to you. So here we have API. We are going to fetch the data using fetch, and we are going to handle loading and error states. We are going to dynamically render the list, that is display what the list gives us, and then we are going to add keys to it, and we will also look into a little bit of performance consideration. Okay, so Gayatri, what do you mean how API is created? So we are already using an existing API. So some people, what happen is they want to, create something. So what they do is they put all of this in a particular URL and allow us as developers and learners to access it and use it. Okay, so this is one. We also have another thing called movies database. We have another thing. Few of them, okay, few of them are open source, like countries app is open source, and weather, for example. So all these things, what happens is there will be continuously some people working in the background. Okay, what they will do is they will keep updating. So for example, tomorrow there's a new country. Let's say tomorrow we have a new country called Mhm. Okay, called okay. We have right now Hong Kong war is going on, as you already know. So let us say there's a new country called Hong Kong tomorrow. So the people who are maintaining this, what they will do is they will add another, another set of values for Hong Kong. No issues, Bhupati. I understand if you're having network issues. Okay. So what happens is they will add all these and change this. Okay, the values will be changed. This one, for example, they will have stored it somewhere. Okay, let us see if it works. Okay, so here you can see, right? So they will have hosted all of this somewhere in a server. Okay, we are just going to request it, and then we are going to fetch it. Okay, all these things will have been uploaded somewhere. They would have hosted this. Okay, all of these things. So what they will do is, if a new country called Hong Kong is created, they will have their own flag. They will have their own description of the flag. The name will be different. Okay, common names normally will be different than official names. Okay, so for example, let us say India. Okay, we have so many. Yeah. See, common name is India, but official name is Republic of India. Okay. So in Hindi we call it something else. We call it Bharata Ganarajya. In Tamil we have it something else. In Kannada we have it as something else. So all these things they will keep adding, keep updating it. Okay. So that we as people who are learning can make use of this and try to build something. Okay. Did you understand this, Gayatri? If yes, just give me a thumbs up. Okay. So, what we will do is now we will go to CD countries app and then NPM start. Okay. Now it will take some time as you already know. And we have our, where is our React? Yeah. So we have our React here. Okay. Are you guys able to see this? Yeah. So what we are supposed to do next, we are going to modify app.js. So navigate to file explorer, go to countries, inside source, we are going to app.js, and then we are going to delete everything from line 6 to line 21. Okay, now it is going to give us an error because return cannot be empty. So we are going to add a div tag, and then inside div tag we are going to add h1 list of countries. Okay, now let us see our app. Yeah, as you can see, we have our h1 displayed here. Okay, now we have a warning. Logo is defined but never used. So in order to not have this, we will just delete the first line and then save it, and it has been compiled successfully. Next, what we need to do is we need to create a JSX page called page 1 under a new folder in SRC called pages, and then add a new file page1.jsx. Okay, now let us see what needs to be done. Okay, so we need to have a variable called API URL. Okay, const API underscore URL is equal to quotes, then close it. Okay, so this would come here from here. Okay, copy this URL, go back and paste it here. Okay, we can also have population, region, capital, but no, we will only concentrate on names and flags for now. Okay, because we are just trying to build a simple application. Okay, next we are going to add export default function. Export default function page 1 and then this. Okay, inside this, as you already know, we will be having a return statement. We'll copy this and we will paste it here. Okay, yeah, we will do a little bit of this so that we can see. Mhm. So the indentation will always be a problem if you copy paste it from the readme file, but I think it should be okay. So now let us go back to our React app and see. Okay. So technically it should display this particular paragraph, right? This page has logic, but it is not displaying. Why? It is because we haven't added our reference of page1.jsx in app.js. So here what we do is say import logic from page1.jsx. Okay, now we have it here. Okay, so now since logic is the React tag, we it is a self-enclosing tag. So we say this, and this, and within that we have logic. And since it is React tag, L should be capital Logic, and we have it. But what happens is we do not want logic. Okay, there might be n number of pages called logic. So what we will do is we will just change this from logic to page one, and then we have an error because logic is not defined. We will go back and change this to page one, and we have it. Okay, any doubts until now? No? Okay, let me continue. Okay, so here we are going to include the logic for fetching the stuff from fetching all the data from this URL. Okay, so normally, as I told you, we will be handling multiple calls in order to prevent multiple calls to the API. We will be using use effect to curb this. So use effect only runs when there is change. Okay, so for example, it runs as soon as the page loads. Okay, so for example, if we have done this, use effect runs automatically if we say refresh, if we refresh it, or if we load it for the first time. Okay, else it will never run on its own. Okay, so we will use this code, and we have to add it before our return. Okay, return normally only has values, HTML, and maximum of JS values. Okay, so now we have an error. Okay, what error is it? We will go back, we will see here. Okay, use effect is not defined. Use effect is an inbuilt function. So what we need to do is we need to import it. Okay, so what we do here is import, and this use effect from React. Okay, now you don't see an error with use effect. Okay, so it says what exactly happened, what exactly use effect is used for. Okay, so now fetch countries has issue. So it says fetch countries is not defined. Correct? We will look at it. Okay, so but first we will do something else. Okay, so now what happens is as soon as you fetch something, you need to store it. Okay, so what happens is as soon as use effect comes, okay, so first we will write the code for fetch countries because it is continuously asking me to write it. So what we will do is here write the logic for fetch countries function to fetch the contents of URL from step 7.3. So 7.3 is here. So we will be fetching it. Okay, how will we fetch it? We will use, okay, we will not use async first. Okay, function fetch countries, and then we will do this. Okay, now as I told you, we need to handle our error. So what we will do is we will use try catch block in order to handle our errors. Okay, try. Okay, so we will try to do something in this. Okay, we will try to fetch the data from API URL. Okay, so we will say const. So since we are fetching it, it is a response from the URL. So we are going to name it response is equal to fetch of fetch from where? From the API URL. We have already defined it, correct? Yes, we did. So we are going to fetch it. Now what we will do is we will convert the response into a JSON. Okay. So for that we need to do const. So what are we receiving? We are receiving data. So we will say const data is equal to response dot JSON. Okay. Now we will see. Okay. If there is data, okay, then if data. So if we put if data, it means if data is not equal to 0. Okay. If okay, wait. Just okay. If data is not equal to 0, okay, we will set country, okay, of data. But in order to set countries, we need to have a variable called countries. Okay. It says could not find name set countries. Did you mean fetch countries? No, we do not want to fetch it again and again because it will take multiple calls. So now what we do is we define countries and set countries using use state. Okay. That we will put here. Okay. And now we don't have any issues. Okay. So after try is done, this is all we are going to do. We are going to set the countries. Okay. This is all we are going to do. So now we have tried to fetch it and we have tried to set it for country. Okay. Now we have to use catch. Okay. Else it will give us an error. See here. Missing catch or finally clause. So whenever there is a try, you need to have a catch. Okay. So for that we will do catch and we will say console log error fetching country data. Okay. Or we could also give catch an error. This error will automatically come from the try statement. Okay. It will automatically come and it will, we will console dog error. Okay. Now we are done with the basic logic. Okay. Now we have everything. Okay. Okay. So we haven't, okay, use state is not defined. Okay. So now we need to import use state from React as well. So after use effect, we say use state. Okay. Any questions until now? Or did you guys understand this? You understood? Okay. Now let's go here. Okay. So now we have all the data, okay, but we need to render it. So how do we render it? We use mapping or for loop. So in order for us to, for the code to be very simple, we are going to use this. Okay, we are going to use for instead of map. Okay, now what we do is we copy this particular line of code and then we put it after fetch countries. Okay, we have double return that we don't need. Okay, here. So what we are doing here is we are calling a function called render countries for which countries will be set as the parameter. Okay, now we are going to create an empty country. Okay, empty country elements as the array. Okay, then we are going to loop through each of the countries. Okay, so we are going to use for loop for that and then we are going to loop through that. Okay, so we are going to assign country of I. So countries is a array, right? So countries of I is countries of index 0. So whatever data is in index 0, that will get transferred to country. Okay, so now what we do is we push it. Okay, we, as I told you, we are using key. Okay, see, key. So if we use key, the React will say, okay, this particular thing is not repeating itself, so it has unique index, unique name. So that's why I'll be rendering it only once. Okay, now we are going to return this. Okay, say here, and then here we are going to return the country elements. Okay, and we will call this function inside return. Okay, let us try. Okay, render countries of countries. We have an issue here. What issue? Signature declarations only used in TypeScript. What is the issue? Okay, let's see what the issue might be. We will go to problems, unexpected token. Why do we have this? Expected here. Oh, wait. I think we might have some issue here. Let us see. Ah, we do not have div. It should be enclosed in div. Okay. Why country name dot official inside div? Where, Gayatri? Which line of code are you talking about? Oh, here. Okay, it is used as a key. So the point is, no two countries' official name is the same. Okay. So it is acting as a unique identifier. So for example, if it is employees, we will use employee ID. Okay. If it is username, if it is a list of users, we will be using username or user ID. So here in this case, I will show you the URL. Okay, just a minute. Just do this. Here, see, there are no two countries with the same official name. See, Antigua and Barbuda. Okay. Then we have Bhutan. Okay, we might have another country called Bhutan, but the official name is Kingdom of Bhutan. Okay, so each and every, say for example, British. Okay, so see, we have so many. Okay, British Virgin Islands. Okay, is the common name. Okay, but Virgin Islands is the only official name. Okay, here as well. See, here we have multiple British in everything. Okay, that's why we will use official name as the key. We can also use index. Okay, we can also say index, but we do not have index anywhere. So we can also say, okay, we can also say I. Okay, does is this okay for you? Did you understand why we are using official name? We can also use I. Okay, but normally what we do is we try to use the data that we have fetched. Okay, so it's okay. Okay, now we have our logic, we have everything. So let's go back to this one. We have rendered. Okay, let us say refresh list of countries. Nothing is getting displayed, right? Is anything getting displayed? No, right? So let us see why it is not getting displayed. Okay, so what happens is the fetch countries will not, as I told you, APIs might have a lag, correct? So we need to handle the lag using await and async. Okay. So what we will do is for fetch countries, this is where we are fetching the API, correct? So what we are going to do is we are going to add a small uh, keyword called async. Okay. Async helps us to wait for it. Okay. We will use here await. Okay. So since it is lots and lots of data, as you can see, this is lots and lots of data. It might take a few seconds in order to deliver it to us. Okay. So we need to wait. But this function doesn't wait. It will take milliseconds in order to execute. So what we do is we need to wait for the fetch to completely get all the items. Okay. So we use await. Okay. So now we wait until all the fetch is complete and then we store all the data into response. Okay. Now another thing what happens is since the data is so long, it, converting the response to a JSON also will also take time. Okay. See, even though we used it, it is not displaying anything. So we use here also await. Okay. And let us save it. Let us see if it works. Did it work? It did, right? So this is the importance of await and async because we need to wait for the function for the fetch to completely get all the data from the API. Since it is too huge, it will take some time. Okay. Now we did render the country names, okay, but it doesn't look that interesting. So what we can do is we can also render the flags for each country, okay, because reading so many things, who will read it? No one will read it. So we will do another small thing. Okay, we will display an image. So what we will do is we will just put a little bit of code here. Okay, here in the div tag in push, what we will do is we will have an image tag. Okay. Okay, and the source would be, as you can see, country.name.common, correct? So now for the image, we will go to the API and see. Okay, for the flags, it says, for the flags it's a different thing, correct? So now what we will do is we will try this. Okay, country. Okay, for each of the country and for each of the flags. Okay, we will have we will have say P, N and G. Okay, and then we will close the tag. Okay, now we are getting a warning. Let us see if we have our this one. See, we already have it. Correct? We have our flags displayed. Correct? For each of the country we have. So let us say Bhutan. You see, it is a yellow and orange with a dragon in it. Okay. Let us say India. India's flag is also correct, right? And let's say Pakistan. Pakistan flag is also right. So it is white, green with a crescent moon and a star. Okay. It is coming out good. But we have a warning here. See, image elements must have an alt property either with meaning or an empty string for decorative images. Okay. So it means it should, we are going to use this to be accessible to blind people. Okay. So nowadays everything should be accessible to all kinds of people with disabilities, correct? So in order to do that, we also add something here. Here you can see in the this one, we have an alt, correct? It is a description of the complete flag. Say for example, Bhutan. Let's say Bhutan. Okay, the flag of Bhutan is divided diagonally from lower host side to the corner of to the upper fly side corner. So okay, let's hear Bhutan. Okay, okay, let's say India itself. Okay, India would be a better option for us, correct? Because we already know our country's flag. So let us go to India here. Okay, see, the alt is the description. Okay, the flag of 1 second, Gayatri. Let me just see. Ma'am, do we have PNG file for image like countries.flags.png? Exactly. So here, that's what I was showing you. So here we have flags, correct? So country is the one which we push here, correct? Here we have const country is equal to countries. So in order to access the data inside it, we say country for each of the country dot flags dot png. Okay, this is the property we are trying to have. Okay, you understood, Gayatri? The value of it is here. The value of it is here. See, correct? It is already hosted somewhere. Okay, we are just taking it and we are displaying the value here. So this flower brackets indicates value. Okay, so let us see the description of Indian flag. The flag of India is composed of three equal horizontal bands of saffron, white, and green, which is correct. A navy blue wheel with 24 spokes, the Ashoka Chakra is centered in the white band. Let us see if it's true. Correct? The description is correct. So what it says is image elements must have an alt prop. So what we do is we have image src and now alt is equal to country, oh sorry, country dot flags dot alt. Okay, now we do not have any warning and it was successfully done, rendered. Okay, now, we cannot differentiate if this flag belongs to Paraguay or if this flag belongs to Bouvet Island. Correct? So, what we do is after the flag, after a country ends, we will be putting a horizontal line here. So, for that, we have a tag called HR. Okay? HR. You can see it works. Correct? We are beautifying it a little. Okay? Any doubts in this? Do you have guys have any doubts? If you have a doubt, please raise your hand, else give a thumbs up, please. HR tag is for this distinguishing line. If we remove it, the line disappears. See? Okay? Okay, good. So now we will add back the line because it needs to look a little better. So that's why we are having this line. Okay? Understood, Bhupati. It's okay. I understand. But please go through the README app and let me know if you have any questions. Okay. So we are done. So let us say our let us see how our um, error try and catch functions. Okay, say for example here we add some. Okay, here let us say we add something like an invalid URL. Okay, oh it still comes, sorry, my bad. So let's go back here, countries1.com. Okay, it says the site cannot be reached. So what we will do here is we will add this and try to save it. Okay, and then see. We will reload this. See here, you can see, right? Issue failed to fetch. Okay, error name not resolved. So it means it is not able to get it. Okay, it says get HTTPS the URL. The response was error name not found. We can go to our application source network. I think network. Yeah. See here, status failed fetch. Why? Because in page 1.jsx we have 15th line error. 15th line is fetch. So the API URL is not right. So let us fix it back to what it was. We will delete this one and save. Okay. And let us reload this. See, status 200. So our error handling is handled. Our key prop is handled. Performance consideration is handled because it is called just two times and it takes 2 milliseconds. Okay. It is called two times because we are using strict function. Okay. I will show you the strict function. Okay. Wait. Index.js. See, here we have react.strict mode, right? So when we use react.strict mode, it runs this app page twice, app.js page twice, in order to make sure there is no issues with the rendering. Okay, there is no issues and anything. So it will automatically call it twice. As I told you in previous session, console.log also, if you do it, it will do the same thing. Okay. So now we have successfully created our API. We have fetched the API data from the API and we have successfully done this. Okay. If you still want some more things, you could also here say instead of PNG, you can also say SVG. Okay. It becomes an icon, but it is too huge. So let's not do that. Okay. We want it to be visible to us. So now everything is on the left side of the page. We want it in the center to look nicer. So what we do is we go to app.css page and we have here dot app. So what we do is we go to app.js and here we say class name is equal to app, and we have everything in the center. Since we are just using this particular class name, we can delete everything else. Okay. Or we could also use app.logo here. Okay. So here image src, we can use class name is equal to app. What was it? App logo, right? App logo. And you can see it is rotating. Okay, we will go back here. We will say delete all these things and it will just display it like this. Okay, so any questions? No? So let's try to change it to SVG and refresh. Okay, SVG remains the same. So let's say minimum height is 10%. Ooh, it's too huge, right? 10% is too huge. So let us not do this. So SVG, from SVG to PNG. Okay. Any questions? No? So then we have completed the today's task and we have understood our assignment. I will be able to, make it work. So Gayatri and Bhupati, please try to do this if possible. Okay, at home. It's a very simple one. So you would need maximum of 20-30 minutes to maximum to complete this. And then I would like to hear your experience tomorrow. Okay, so we will end this call, we will end this session, and thank you all for joining.